Oh man, welcome to another live broadcast from Sports and Discourse post game Kentucky, Arkansas. And we took the L. And at first, in the first half, I thought it was a very winnable game. Kentucky was playing okay. They wasn't playing great. They was playing all right. But once again, we kind of got exposed as far as like it's kind of remind me of the Gonzaga game, even though we played a little better we played a little better tonight than we did against Gonzaga. But it just seems like when we play teams with length, Arkansas pretty much tall and athletic at every single position. And we just can't handle that. We just got certain guys that they get bothered by the length and the athleticism. CJ Frederick is one. Oscar Tshiebwe is one. Even Antonio Reeves, for some reason, they just struggle so badly when they play teams like Arkansas, teams like Gonzaga with so much height. One thing that I do like that I seen was I really liked when they were utilizing the pick and roll, because I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I think the only way they can really compete in March is they're going to have to ride Case and Wallace. And they did tonight. I mean, he had an all right game. He had 21, 3, and 5. So, he definitely did his thing. But it just wasn't enough if he's not going to get much production from anybody else. And, Toppin had an okay game. He had 11 and 8, but it just really didn't seem like it just seemed like it was an ineffective 11 and 8. There was never any point in the game where I felt like Toppin was really playing well. I'm sorry, Kaysen had 24, my bad. I'd like to actually see some more of Damian Collins, though. If if there's another point to be made that's kind of positive, I definitely liked Collins. Kind of seemed like he was getting a feel for the game again. He kind of seemed like he was getting a little comfortable. I like him in the pick and roll better than I like Oscar, honestly, because Oscar just kind of limited. The more Oscar moves around on the court, the more it just kind of seemed like he just can't get it done as easy. So whenever they doing pick and roll, which I love pick and roll, pick and roll gets casing off a lot. And then even like in some of the other games and even a little bit in the first half, Reeves does pretty good in the pick and roll. So I love it when they use the pick and roll, but they really got to use it with Toppin or they got to use it with Collins, in my opinion. When they use it with Tshiebwe, it just seems like he just can't move that well. He just kind of limited to being stuck underneath the basket. Martin said they look like the best team the Cats played all year. I actually thought Arkansas was going to be a lot better than they ended up being anyway. So I felt like Arkansas was a good team. They had been slipping over the last, I guess you would say the last quarter of the season. They had been playing kind of bad, but in the beginning of the year, I thought they was one of the best teams in the country. But it's that size and athleticism. And Kentucky, I feel like the only way Kentucky can make it out of the first weekend in the tournament, if we even get in the tournament, I feel like they got to get some good matchups where they play against some teams that have like limited size, limited athleticism. They need to play against a team that mostly relies on like half court offense. Yeah. Martin says, funny how Severe was out. Luckily, couldn't guard any of them. No smaller, weak guy. Nice team. Yeah, even a point guard, he was long and athletic. And they just all, yeah, Steven, that's what I was thinking too when I was watching. I was like, man, they going backwards. They going back to the beginning where they just look like I mean, they did play okay in the first half. But what really hurt them in the second half to me was they started it off and it was like, what was it, like 3 or 4 turnovers? Like as soon as the second half started, it was just turnover. I think they might have had like 4 turnovers. Yeah, CJ definitely CJ went backwards. I thought CJ was about to take a turn. He was about to start doing what we expect. And he just got overwhelmed again. I think it's just teams like Arkansas just are built to beat this particular Kentucky team. If they see a team like this in the first or second round of the tournament, it's probably over for them. And right now, if we even make it in the tournament, I don't even know what seed we would even be. So if we a 12 seed, then who knows what type of team we gonna be playing. But they probably gonna have good size. They probably gonna have athletic people. So we could be in trouble the first game. It could be over for us quickly. We just haven't been able to beat one of them type of teams. We could have had Kansas, but we dropped that one too. The first half, yeah, the first half they was looking decent. Like I thought that they was gonna pull it out, but they just messed. Like I said, if you want to be a great team, we know you can't turn the ball over and give up easy baskets. You got to hit your free throws. You got to play some tough defense, and the defense was in spots. It was okay, but I don't know if y'all heard this, but they was comparing like Oscar Tshiebwe to Anthony Davis, and I know that's blasphemy already to even compare the two, but defensively they were saying that like Anthony Davis had like 189 blocks or something like that, and Oscar Tshiebwe has 19. So he just can't really defend the paint like that. And the thing about it is, whenever they get Oscar Tshiebwe in the pick and roll and get him moving his feet, he can't really jump when he's moving laterally like that. He kind of one of those guys that got to be, he got to have his feet planted and be able to just pop straight up. But if you get him going side to side or front to back, he doesn't really have no explosiveness. So a lot of the times, even like, guards or small forwards that get him in the pick and roll can go to the basket and get into his body and get fouls on him. Whereas you already know if a guard was going to the basket against Anthony Davis, it was blocked. Like it was an easy block. Yeah, I feel like I would, like I said, I want to see Collins get some more minutes, because the only thing that worries me about Collins is like this game, he just physically wasn't strong enough. Like he always been a skinny dude, but they said he lost like 16 pounds. I guess he was depressed or whatever, when he lost his father, God rest his soul. But, losing 16 pounds when you already was barely 200 is a lot. So until he actually gets physically strong enough, it's gonna be hard for Cal to keep him in against guys like our teams like this, because not only was Arkansas's players tall, but they was physically developed. So, but he's the only one that I feel like, I guess Onyenzo, but he's kind of in the same boat where he's skinny too. But so both of the dudes that we got with some potential to be shot blockers are, not really, they're not really big enough to compete against certain teams like this. Yeah, I feel like Oscar Tshiebwe may have lost his confidence. I just feel like he looks different than I've ever seen him look. Even earlier in the season, even when we was losing some games that maybe we shouldn't have lost, or, maybe we should have, but I just never felt like he looked like this. Like he really looked like a mid-major level guy today. Like he looked like if you watched him the last couple games, you would never think this guy was player of the year. He just looks like he kind of looked lost out there. And we got to run the offense through Case, and we can't run it through Oscar because they done figured it out now. And when we play teams with size, if we try to force it in there to him, it's just going to be a lot of wasted possessions. But the thing is, when they don't run the offense through him, he can't really find his way in the game. Like Chris Livingston struggles with that too. But tonight, he actually quietly played a decent game. But it's kind of the same way for him because they don't run plays for Chris Livingston. So he kind of got to try to find his within the flow of the game. He got to, get some transition buckets. He got to spot up for some open threes, get some offensive rebounds. And he ended up getting 13 points, and he shot 5 for 10. So that was quietly a good game. But that's what we're going to need from Oscar whenever we not running the offense through him. He still got to find his way in the game. Like he got to figure out how to get some points, get some putbacks. He did hit like a little jumper or whatever. But it's just he just getting exposed a little bit, and it just hurts badly because we really don't have any other options. I mean, for the amount of minutes that he's playing, like for him to give us 7 and 7 when we used to him giving us like 15 and 13. That just kind of hurts. Steven said, I just hope we make the tournament and get to next season. See, I right now it's going to be tough because we was already on the last 4 in. Now, North Carolina lost tonight. And honestly, I think North Carolina's in the same boat as us. They don't really got no quality wins for real. They done lost like the last 3 in a row. They got a terrible record just like us. But we got to really, like, we really need to win all of these last games. We need to beat Tennessee one more time, and we need to win out of the regular season just to be safe to get in. But if we do get in, I think it's gonna be hard for us to get out of the first weekend. I can't really say because I got to see the seed, but it's gonna be tough for us to get out the first weekend though. Brandon said they can't beat good teams. Nah, they really can't. It's tough for them to play against athletic teams with height. They just they can't defend well. When they make their plays, when they attack, a lot of times they get blocked. Like the game was pretty much already decided, but if y'all remember at the very end, Reeves was he drove to the hole and tried to shoot a layup and got blocked. And I was just like, of all the time for you to go all the way to the hole and shoot a layup, you do it now because we know 9 times out of 10, if he don't shoot a 3, he's shooting a floater. And that was the one time where I was like, bro, that was your floater right there. And, so I just feel like they kind of look like they're going backwards. Steven said they'll put us in the first 4. And Libram said 1 and 7 in quad 1 games. Yep. It's a lot of teams that's struggling. Like it's like the season is wide open, but Kentucky just ain't gonna grab it. Like it's a lot of teams that's struggling. It's opportunities for them to make some noise and get in the tournament, but they just not going. It just seems like they just can't do it. I definitely want to see Collins get some more run though, because I just kind of like what Collins could do in the pick and roll, because I think they got to live and die by the pick and roll, because I think Case and Wallace can get some easy points in the pick and roll, even Reeves. But like I said, when they do it, they got to do it through Toppin and Collins, because those are the guys that can roll to the basket. They can catch some alley-oops. They might be able to dribble once or twice. I know Toppin can probably, take a couple dribbles and get to the basket. Collins even looked like he could shoot the jumper a little bit. So, Daryl, what up, bro? Yeah, I was disappointed too, for sure. Because I thought it was a winnable game. In the first half, like, they look like if they just tighten things up and stayed focused, they could get this one. And then they started the second half and just turnover after turnover. K Comp said it's better with Collins on the floor. It's looking like it. And I mean, see, Cal's in a tough position because you can't really necessarily just completely bench the returning player of the year. And, he has been one of the more consistent players we've had all season. But when you playing against height, he just can't get it done for real. He just plays too below the basket. And, there's been a lot of good players that can play below the basket. But the thing about it is, if you're going to be a big man that plays below the rim, you got to have excellent footwork. You got to have excellent ball fakes. You got to be able to dribble at least a little bit. Like guys like Zach Randolph come to mind. Different guys like that. Like, it can be done. Like, below the rim, or even Jokic, below the rim centers and big men, you can do it. But you got to have a high skill set, and I just don't think Oscar, he's just missing too much in his package. Yeah, I think they might need to try Toppin. See, in the beginning of the season, or let me not even say the beginning of the season, I will say in the summertime, I was really, really hoping that they was going to go to a small ball lineup. And they just really ain't tried it yet. But at some point I would like to see, maybe they could have Toppins at the 5 and run some guards with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just see what it looked like. And if it don't work, then Steven, Elton Brand too, for sure. I forgot about Elton Brand, but yeah, he was another one play below the rim. But yeah, those guys got high skill level. They got just got way more in the package. Can shoot a little jumper. They got head fakes. They just got the moves. Kentucky Wildcats said our season is over. We chop liver. I mean, it's looking bad right now. We can't deny that. Like, it's looking real bad. If we win out, we could potentially, I'm not sure about Tennessee. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the Tennessee game scares me a lot more than it did like a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we can beat Georgia or not. Hopefully we can beat them again. I don't think. See, Georgia was like that one team that just completely single covered Oscar Tshiebwe. They made it super easy. So I doubt that they'll do that again. So I feel like the Georgia game is going to be way different, because I feel like they definitely are going to double team him. And we'll just have to see how he plays it. Steven said Matt Jones' monologue going to be interesting. Yeah. I can't wait to see what he say too. Jack the Great said if they make the tournament, they're going to have that underdog mentality and actually do okay. I hope so. Like, I picked this team to go to the Final Four in the summertime. Like, I was like, driving the hype train for real. Um, like I figured last year they was good enough to go to the Final Four, and they just had a blunder headed game. So with most of the players coming back and then the people that we added, I was all in on the Final Four train. So I definitely want to see them do something. Like I would love for them to at least get to the Sweet 16. Like my expectations keep going down. I was Final Four, now it's like Elite Eight. Then it's now I'm like, let's just get to the Sweet 16 because I do think it's gonna be tough for them to get out the first round. Bibb said he think Cal getting them leftover 5 stars. The last couple of years, yeah, for sure. But obviously next year he got all the top ones. And at this point we got to put Kaysen is definitely one of them top ones. I think he might have been ranked 7th overall. So he definitely one of them ones. And even Livingston, I think Livingston was I think he was ranked like what was he like 9th or 13th or something. I feel like Livingston they not gonna run no plays for Livingston, so he just got to be more active and try to find his way in the game. He got to definitely he might have to try to play hard on defense, make some turnovers. He got to make something happen. Steve says it's like the beer goggles is wearing off. Yeah, they kind of are. And like I said, I was starting to get my hopes up again because, we had our little win streak was looking kind of good again. So I was thinking like, oh, man, they turning the corner. They improving. And I was waiting for CJ to get his hand situation together. And then he had a nice little game as soon as he came out the rap. But now he kind of went backwards again tonight. And it just kind of, the frustrating part is the only person that I have confidence in that I feel like can do the same level of production against anybody is actually Cason Wallace. I believe 9 times out of 10, Cason Wallace is going to do what he does pretty much against any competition that he plays. But the rest of them, you never know what you're going to get out of them. You just never know. Yeah. We got to fight to get in this tournament. Yeah, Martin said the Hogs look good. They did. Yeah. The thing about Arkansas is it's like they don't really, and I haven't seen what's the guard's name that's hurt, Nick Smith. See, I ain't seen him play with him actually playing. So I really don't know how good they was when he was playing. But Arkansas just looked like they got a bunch of guys that just play well together. They don't really got one go-to guy, if you will, but they just got a lot of dudes that's just active. They running all over the court. They trying to make plays. So they're going to be hard to beat, I believe. JC said every offensive possession looked difficult. Yeah. As much as I hate to say it, Cason Wallace, with Severe Wheeler not playing, Cason played 39 minutes, so I'm sure he was wore out after the game because they got to rely on him. But like I said, I want the offense to go through him, but they got to be able to rest him some because he plays so hard on both ends of the ball. So, yeah, JC, like we were saying earlier, they just don't got no rim protection, and it shows up big time. It's a lot of times that you just see a lot of extra possessions that the other teams get or easy buckets they get around the basket, and you just know if we had that one rim protector, we'd be good. Daryl said the team is very different if Shay Sharp didn't ghost us. Unfortunately, I agree with you. Yeah. I think Shaden Sharp would have put this team over the hump. I think he would have put last year's team over the hump, honestly. I think if he would have played, I think we would have probably won the championship. And I think this year, if he would have been on the team, we'd probably be in a lot better shape. We probably would at least look like a championship contending team. Hopefully, hopefully we don't have to deal with that type of stuff again. Stephen Cook said he thinks Nick Smith is pulling the Shaedon Sharpe. He might be. He played enough. What did he play, like 5 games? So he might have just feel like he played enough to show what he got to show, and he might either wait till the NCAA tournament starts, or he might just skip it all together. You never know. That's the difficult situation that college basketball has transitioned to, because you got guys making money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got guys that have responsibilities, like, not to knock Oscar, right? Like, I love Oscar. I think Oscar's an excellent human being. But, his season this year was a little different. Like, he lived off campus. They said he's driving around in the sports car. He's shooting all these commercials. So, Calipari had to call him out. Like, you ain't really working hard like you was last year, but he might got too many obligations and responsibilities this year. He's basically a professional athlete, trying to condense it into a college season. So now I just feel like a lot of the good athletes, yeah, Steven said it's just a different game now. I agree with you. I think this type of stuff is just going to happen all the time now. You're going to get these kids that, they're going to get a little money in their pocket. And, their mentality is going to be like, all right, I'm on to my next thing. I'm going to the NBA. I already showed y'all I can hoop. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I sat on the bench all year like a Shaedon Sharpe. So you never know. K-Comp said they spoil Oscar. I mean, like, I don't know Oscar from a can of paint, so I don't know what type of a personality he got. He seemed like a humble dude. Every time I see him, he's preaching or doing something like that. He's meeting up with some kids from, wherever town they from. Like, he's doing all the right things. He seemed like a great dude. So on the outside looking in, he seems super humble. He seems like he got his head on his shoulders, but you just never really know what's going on. Like, for real. Like, because, I mean, we got to just be honest. Like, if you go from being, whatever financial situation he was in to now you got $2 million in the bank in a couple months. You got a nice house or apartment off campus when you were staying in the dorms. You went from not having a car to now you can go pick out whatever you want. I don't know what his taste is, but I know mine's. I'll probably get me either a Porsche or a nice Corvette, or maybe a big truck. But either way it goes, I will be feeling different. So you just never know what kind of effect that's having on these kids. But JC said his draft stock is plummeting. It absolutely is. At first I was thinking he definitely wasn't going to be a first round pick. But I was like, all right, he might get picked in the top of the second round. But I don't even know if that'd be the case now. I don't think I would pick him. I feel like he might already be at his ceiling. Like, I don't know. And look, I get it. If you pick somebody in the second round, you ain't expecting too much out of them. It's almost kind of like you hoping that you might find some diamond in the rough. But even still, I just don't think I would waste a pick on him, because I just feel like he's at his ceiling. I don't think he's going to get much better, if any at all. Daryl said he does have a Porsche. Ah, well, see, we kind of got some of the same taste. I'm not mad at him for getting a Porsche, but you don't know what that could do to you. Martin said his defense makes him overseas. Yeah, see, that's the thing too, because, like, let's be honest. The kid from Florida, what's his name? Castleton. No disrespect, but he's not that good. I mean, we gotta be realistic. So if you a NBA general manager, right, and you looking at him get killed by Castleton, and you looking at Timmy and all them boys from Gonzaga killed him. You looking at Arkansas, killed him. Alabama. Then now you just thinking like, so what's he gonna do when he's in the NBA and Giannis is coming down the lane, or Embiid, or Jokic, or even Bam? Like, what's he gonna do when them dudes are in front of him? If you can't stay in front of Castleton, like, what can you do? Steve said all those white girls on campus driving him crazy. But he did put LOL, just joking. That's funny though, but hey man, it's a lot of nice looking white girls on UK's campus, so you never know. Yeah, Florida definitely had the blueprint on him though. Daryl said he didn't start playing basketball till 2015. And he said his basketball IQ is minimal, and he's definitely not an NBA player. Respectfully, I totally agree with you. Like you can tell that he just really don't understand or he doesn't have the instincts that professional athletes have. Like he doesn't feel his way through the game. He just kind of, like he doesn't understand the little nuances that can help his game. Like he don't know how to correctly post up. He doesn't know counter moves, right? Like he might have one move in his bag, and then once he tries his one move, if he gets cut off, he don't know how to come back with something different to counter. And like, if you be honest, most of the good offensive players, they got 2 to 3 options from each spot on the floor. They know, okay, if I go right and the defense comes from this area, then I can do this or I can do that. Like they just kind of know, and they can tell real fast what play needs to be made. And you can just obviously see that he don't really have that. Because a lot of the times it don't even look like he knows where he's at. It don't really look like it looked like he just catch the ball, he turn around and just shoot it. Like he don't know if defense is coming from the help side or not. It just seems like he just, a lot of times he's big, he's strong. So if he's not playing against extreme level size, a lot of times he can get away with it. K Comp said playing for Cal will have you nervous. Yeah. One of the things that is bad about playing at Kentucky is the majority of the time you're going to be surrounded with other ball players that either feel like they as good as you or actually are as good as you. And then you can have yourself in situations where you don't fit in, where you don't get enough playing time, or where you might be starting and then you might get benched, and then you out for the whole game if somebody else is playing better. Slim Reaper, we holla at you. Take it easy. K-Comp said being benched will cause a player to make mistakes. And that's 100% factual right there. And you want me to tell you how I know? Because that's what happened to me in high school. I played ball at high school, and I got to a point where, see, in the summertime when we was doing workouts and when we was playing in the tournaments, we would go to some tournaments and play against other high schools. I actually just played so much freer. I was playing with more confidence. But when you get in the regular season and you looking over your shoulder, you get in the game and you start playing scared. You're not even really trying to make nothing happen. You just trying to keep yourself from getting in trouble, keep from getting yelled at the coach, and you end up making mistakes anyways. So it's like you might as well go for it. But the thing is, when you play for a coach that has to play you, you just play better because you're not worried about that But at Kentucky, you're gonna definitely be worried about it because he's always gonna have some players that's comparable to you that he can put on the he can put in the game and put you on the bench. I mean, look at Wheeler. Wheeler was the starter last year, started the season this year, and now he's on the bench. Oscar undoubtedly was the best player on the team at one point, and now it's getting to a point where Calipari's looking at Collins like, man, you might have to start playing more minutes. So you just never know what can happen. Steven said you make a mistake and you looking right at the coach. They all be doing that too. You can just watch them when they make a mistake. They look right over at him and they know like it might be coming. Slim, we definitely kind of look better with Damian. I just wish Damian was a little bit stronger. If Damian had just, half of the strength that Tshiebwe has, I think he would be dominant in certain games. Or he could at least like block some shots and, secure some defensive possessions for us. He's just too small. But we still got to end up giving him some more minutes, man. We got to let him start to figure some stuff out on the court. He looked good. He looked confident. And I ain't gonna lie too, I think that his dunk attempt was actually a block. Y'all tell me if y'all think it was a charge or not. I think it was a block because I felt like the player for Arkansas slid over and actually slid past him. And they bumped each other just a little bit, but I feel like the Arkansas player was still moving. Daryl, yeah. Daryl, I did a video about that too, about what Bryce Hopkins said. But he definitely was playing like a robot. And see, look, here's the thing, like, cause after I made that video, Daryl, I was wondering, like, cause I started to rethink some things, right? And I was like, well, he was playing robotic. And it kind of reminded me of the way Chris Livingston is playing this year. But I'm like, is it because you wasn't the best player on the team last year? Maybe it's because you look better because you went down to Providence instead of staying in Kentucky. So I don't know, maybe, but the one thing that we can't deny is his coach definitely has confidence in him. His coach definitely has to use him. So he definitely is allowed to play free, and he looks a lot better. So you just never know. Sometimes it just depends on the situation you in. Like I said, I think Chris Livingston will probably go to a draft workout, probably look good in the workout and get drafted, even though Calipari's not running any plays for him. I think he needs to work on some stuff. But I think in some workouts for the league, I think he'll still end up getting picked. And then we'll look and be like, man, he didn't do half the stuff he's doing in the NBA at Kentucky. So you just never know how that stuff works out. But we who we got next? Georgia? Is Georgia next or is it Mississippi State? Let me see if I can figure it out real quick. We got Georgia up next, and then Mississippi State. We got to get both of them. We have to. Cause I don't know how the Tennessee game is going to go. Yeah, Daryl, I think Livingston will be better in the NBA for sure. I do think he got to work on his ball handling though, because he is going to have to play more out on the floor. He's not going to be able to play power forward, but I think he's going to be a little bit better. Martin said the Dogs getting smoked. We got to smoke them. We got to come out ready. We got to we going to be on the road, but we definitely got to come out and we got to We gotta be 10 points better. You know what they say when you play on the road, you gotta be 10 points better than your opponent. So we gotta be clicking on all cylinders. Yeah, Cook. We started off. Like I said, we started off the first half. I think we might have had 4 turnovers out of the first 5 possessions or something crazy. It was ridiculous. But that set the tone for the second. That set the tone for the second half, and then pretty much it was a wrap after that. We was just trying to keep up, trying to make it respectable. But we kind of at that little first little block of the second half is pretty much where we lost the game. We got Arkansas again? Yeah, we do. On March the 4th. It's going to be a tough one, especially because it's on the road, too. Like, we losing them at home hurts. Especially when you got to go play them again. I think we going to get Florida. I think we can get Georgia, Mississippi State, Florida. I ain't really seen Auburn too much, so y'all have to let me know what y'all think about Auburn. I ain't really watched them too much, and I think we can get Vandy for sure. But I think we're gonna struggle with Tennessee. We're gonna struggle with Arkansas, and like I said, I gotta check out Auburn because I don't really know. I don't really know what they doing down there. Martin said the Hogs got 3 or 4 NBA guys. Yeah, they probably do. They probably do. They just got such a tall, athletic team. It's just hard for our team to compete with those type of teams. I mean, they got a lot of their guys probably could do multiple positions. At least in college they can. I don't know about Dice at Auburn's or Diet Tennessee. Yeah, I gotta check them out because I don't really know what they doing down there for real. But if they a Diet Tennessee, it's still gonna probably be a tough game for us to win. So I mean, we got it at home, so that'll help. Martin said Auburn's getting smacked too. All right, Cook. We'll holler at you on the next one. Take it easy. I ain't about to stay on here too much longer myself anyways. It's already midnight. But yeah, we gotta turn it up for this next stretch of the season if we even want to end it respectable. We done let a couple drop of the last several games that we could have won. We definitely could have had this one. But we choked it off in the beginning of the second half. Dice said every game finna be hard for us. Man, right now, the confidence is low. Auburn lost to Texas A&M tonight. Okay, I'll check some highlights of them tomorrow, see what they look like. I might need to check Georgia out again, too, to see what they done over the last couple of games. I wish we was playing South Carolina again after I seen that video of Gigi Jackson complaining about how he ain't getting the ball. And actually, since he played against us, I don't think they won another game since us. I wish we had them again. Let me see. But yeah, man, it's going to be tough. We got a lot of work to do. So hopefully we'll get it cleaned up. I'm going to check out the last couple games of Georgia, and we'll be ready to do it again after the Georgia game. Well, all right, my peoples. I love y'all. Thanks for kicking it with me. Y'all take it easy, get some sleep, and I'll holler at